done yet. Trying our best to make it last. Freedom running through us like an open. We're too high on being young and there's still to race. We've got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives. And the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads. But right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age. We're too loud, we're too proud, we're too high to come back down. We don't think, we don't plan, we stay as long as we can. As long as we can. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives. And the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back just shaking our heads. But right now we're too fast to slow down just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Wilson's Seahawks going up against Fitzpatrick's Jets. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium as we welcome in our guys, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the New York Jets. Stephen Hauschka now about set to get this one started. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. First down, Fitzpatrick. Wide open, it's Marshall, complete. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Their big-bodied receiver, 78 yards. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run out to the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And he puts it through. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On first down, Wilson. And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. 13 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Going to Rawls on the dump-off. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a second down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case, the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you... And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. David Harris able to run him down for the loss of a yard. And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on third. Now it's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. Here's Fitzpatrick. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. 12 yards on the pickup. And it'll be a New York first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Here's Matt Forte with his first carry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. A look at the starting side for the offense and Brandon Marshall.
I think the thing that impresses me most about Brandon Marshall is his strength. How he runs his routes, how he wins against defensive backs downfield, how it's so tough to keep him from getting the football.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's a screen to Powell. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So on comes the field goal unit for the Jets. Here's Nick Folk from the right hash. This from 53. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guys' jersey clean throughout the game.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So, Charles, when we got a quick breather here, wanted to ask you, as we get to the end of preseason, cuts are happening fast.
Yeah.
These front offices, you've told me, they are watching closely to see if someone's cut, where can they add to their roster, right?
Exactly. It's similar to the draft where they have a ready list of players that they aren't sure are going to get drafted, but they really liked and want to sign as a priority free agent. They do the same thing during this time of year. They sit in meetings, different scouts are assigned to different teams, and they've compiled a list of players they think fit their team. And if they get cut by those other teams, they want to be able to pounce and go get that guy and add him to their roster once the cuts are done.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
But they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talked about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And for Thomas Rawls, Charles, with his absence in the preseason, you wonder if he's losing a little ground to Christine Michael.
157 yards, 24 carries.
Better than 6 yards per carry.
Yeah, you'll lose ground when people play like that. And Christine Michael finally playing up to his promise and to his ability. And they're also looking for something from C.J. Prosise, who they drafted out of Notre Dame. But he's had a hamstring injury, and that's really set him back.
And they say he hasn't been able to play the Madden game. He's been too busy with the injury and trying to learn a new system.
They don't let the Madden game into the training room. That's the problem. C.J. Prosise has to get healthy, and then he can start playing.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help him at contract time.
They'll roll him out right. They're able to locate Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds, making it all the way down to the 5.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Shift together here from the D-line. 5 yards to go for the offense. First down and goal from that 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now the 4th-year man from Texas A&M, Christian Michael. His defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Russell Wilson taking it in. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Oh, he missed it. No good. So this remains a 4-point game. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a lot.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. It's the Pro Bowl quarterback, Richard Sherman, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field, and they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive, but they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
On second down, Rawls. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up 1st and goal. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll try to run with Rolls. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On the ground, Rolls. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rolls as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Hauschka now for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Devin Smith. Give him 18 on that one. And it's first down, New York. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right. And this is taken in at the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Folks' kick is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So they boot it through, and now we're all square after 2 quarters of play.
And what's that great term you taught me? They're level, right? They got back to level. Now they get to go back in the locker room, regroup, and start over in the second half.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Second half starts with a run by Rolls. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rolls. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And some room to maneuver. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Fitzpatrick, he couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Fitzpatrick to throw it, and his throw here's incomplete. Marshall, the intended receiver, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only...
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Walls. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Marcus Gilchrist there to bring him down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
In the slot on the right is Graham. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now a first down following that long gain.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Curse. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the seemingly endless drive continues. They go again with Rawls. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They come out here in the eye. Here's the sneak with Wilson. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a first and goal.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for fourth down.
The busy afternoon continues for Rawls. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Here's Hauschka for the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Fitzpatrick now on second down, but it's caught. Tompkins. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Wilson going to give to Rolls. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Carry for Thomas Rawls. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A couple of Jets there in on the stop.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard?
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. 4th down. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. And New York set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win.
That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there. Fitzpatrick to Marshall. 45 yards. And quickly they get to the line. Now a play. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. Time definitely of the essence now, just under a minute to play, and here we go. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A couple of Jets there in on the stop. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And it's the two teams talking over on their respective sidelines. We take a break. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Here's Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. Well, certainly a tough loss here, but they've got to move on. I mean, you have another opponent next week. You dwell on this one, it hurts you the following week.
That's where the 24-hour rule comes into play, win or lose for all teams. Either enjoy the win for 24 or reflect on the loss for 24, then put it aside and move forward.